Okay, Erev Tov everyone. We have a few minutes before we begin Arvit. So we'll continue our studies on Sefer HaMitzvot, Sefer HaChinuch. It's been a few weeks since we've done this. We're on Mitzvah Pei Gimel, Mitzvah number 83 out of 613. So this Mitzvah, Shelo Yikach Hadayan Shochad Miba'alei Adin. A judge who is adjudicating a case is not allowed to accept bribes from any of the litigants, afilu ladun din emet, even if with it's the intention to judge truthfully. We often associate taking a bribe is because I know I'm guilty, so here's $1,000, make sure that I'm innocent. But no, even to take a bribe to judge truthfully, okay? You're not allowed to do. Shneimar, the pasuk says, "Beshochad lo tikach." Do not accept a bribe. Very simple, very clear prohibition. V'nichpal alav b'Torah bazeh ha'inyan b'makom acher. This prohibition is actually repeated again later on in Sefer Devarim. V'chen amru b'sifri ve'lo tikach shochad afilu lezakot zakai ulchayev chayav. And the Sifri writes that the prohibition of accepting a bribe is even to exonerate one who is innocent and to impose guilt or liability to that who is guilty. Now, Mishosheh mitzvah, the purpose of this mitzvah, shene'esar alenu likach hashochad, afilu ladun et adin amito, in which we're not allowed to accept bribery even when we want to judge truthfully. Skedeh le'asi mi benenu ha'ergel hara, because we want to remove this evil habit from our midst. Lest we come to accustoming ourselves to this habit of accepting bribery because of the false judgments that would come as a result of that. He says this is very clear, it's very obvious, this requires no proof. Midinei mitzvah, among the laws of this mitzvah, ma shamnu zichronai v'racha, that which the Chachamim said, she'anoten v'mekabel ovrin belav, that the one who is giving the bribe and the one who is receiving the bribe transgress a prohibition. So now, why would the pasuk says v'shochad lo tikach? That means that a person should not take a bribe. The judge should not take a bribe. If I told you to jump off a building and you jumped off a building, that's your problem. Why'd you listen to me? But here we're saying that even the giver who's giving the bribe, he also has an avera. He also has a transgression. Why? It's really up to the judge to decide if he wants to take the bribe or not. That's who the pasuk is referring to. But it says the chinuch, no, both. Hanoten v'amekabel. So why does the noten get one? Anybody know? Want to take a guess? Huh? Very good. Azal Baruch. Hanoten mishum lifnei iver lo titen michshol. There's a mitzvah, Parashat Kedoshim, that says you shall not place a stumbling block in front of a blind man. Now this doesn't obviously literally for sure means you can't place a stumbling block in front of a blind man, but even here you have the money, the bribe is a stumbling block to the judge. He looks, sees the money or whatever it is, the furniture you're offering him or the car that you're going to give him, and this is blinding him. It's blinding his judgment. So therefore, you are placing the stumbling block in front of the blind man. So you wouldn't be transgressing giving a bribe, but you would be transgressing this mitzvah, placing a stumbling block in front of the blind man. Ve'im kibelo, if the judge accepts it. Shehu bichlal arur. He's in the category of someone who is considered cursed. Accursed. It's one of the curses that we have in Parashat Kitavo is it curses someone who takes a bribe. V'chayav lachaziro, and he's also obligated to return the bribe to the litigant. So you can't just take the bribe and say, okay, I took it, it's too late. No, you have an obligation to return the bribe back to the guy. Also, she'asu ladayan lagdil ma'alato. It's forbidden for the judge to inflate his reputation, to inflate his stature to the court. Lekavana kedeh la'arvot sachar lesofrav, with intent to increase the wages of his scribes. Now, what does this mean? This means, well, judges got paid. They have to get paid. That's their, it's not today, most judges, they sit in a bed din. They may get paid from the state, but all of them kind of like do it for free. Okay? But they get paid. And they also get paid based on their level of reputability, right? If they have a high reputation, this guy's gonna demand more money. And by doing so, this also involves the scribal work. This guy getting paid to write down the judge. So a guy might inflate himself, okay, in order to receive more money. This is also something that is not allowed. So not only is the judge prohibited from receiving a monetary bribe, but he's even forbidden of receiving a non-monetary bribe, such as flattery. Flattery is also one of the things that is asur. A judge should demonstrate that he pays no attention whatsoever to the words that are spoken to him or about him. If the litigants do honor him with words. The general rule is asur ledayan lekabel hanaa mibaalei adin klal bishvil dinav. The general rule is that a judge is not allowed, he's forbidden to accept any benefit whatsoever from the litigants in order to perform the case, to judge the case. There are a lot of cases in the Talmud that speak about crazy cases. I spoke about it recently in a drasha. Once there was a chacham who was walking on the street, and a feather landed on his shoulder here, on his garment. And one of the guys was walking him, saw it, and just took the feather off oh, thank you so much, he said. He goes, why are you here? He goes, I'm actually going to have a case have a case with somebody in your court. You're the presiding judge, they told me. So after he heard that, he says, I can no longer judge your case. That was it. Something so small, so minimal. Yes, that's what it was. To fulfill this mitzvah, because in the back of your mind, he's going to be thinking, he's a nice guy. Look, he took that little feather off my shoulder. Right? Alachat kama, for sure, if it's money. Alright? The guy actually gives him something. So, yes, the Chachamim were very much aware of this. Aval, now, imadayan hu ba'al melacha, if the judge was a craftsman, okay? So, let's say he builds things. He works with wood or whatever. He's a craftsman, and now he's interrupting his work to judge the case. Hitiru lo chachamim lishol mi baalei adin. The chachamim permitted him to request from the litigants schar batalato mimlachto be'ot she'asok bedinam, compensation. Listen, you want me to judge your case because you trust me? No problem. This is my hourly fee that I normally charge to do my woodworking. I'm now going to judge your case. 5 hours. $100 an hour, $500, this is my fee. Alright? However, he can only accept this payment if it's very evident that it is the compensation for unemployment and nothing else. And he must accept payment from both litigants equally. So if he charges $500 for 5 hours of work, it's $250 for you, $250 for you. Because once you can't say, person A has more money, so I'm going to get $400 from him and $100 from this guy. No, because that's clear bribery, right? I get more money. In my mind, that guy's got more money, he's giving me more money. So therefore, he has to accept the payment equally. V'yete pratea b'Sanhedrin. And all of these laws are elaborated in Masechet Sanhedrin. V'noeget b'kol makom u'kol zeman. This mitzvah applies in every location and in all times. I mean, not just in Eretz Yisrael, even in diaspora, even when the Beit HaMikdash is not around. Today we still have judges. We have people that are sit on Batei Dinim. And also, even for rabbis, I have to say it's the same thing, right? Not always. Sometimes you want to, your mind could sway after a guy's nice to you, so he asks you something, and really shouldn't be allowed to do that. But yeah, nice guy, okay, you know what? And you try to find something for a way to make it work. No, that could be also maybe not direct bribery, but a bribery in some way or form. So it applies in all locations and all times. Bizecharim, only to males. Shehem danim, because they are the ones who judge. Females are not judges. Ve'aver alea v'kiber shohad, a judge who transgresses this prohibition and accepts a bribe, avar al mitzvat melech, he transgressed the commandment of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, of God, ve'eno lokeh, but he does not incur lashes, lefi shenitan lehi shavon. And the reason is because a bribe can always be returned. It's always subject for restitution. So whenever something can be returned, one who transgresses, there is no lashes for the sin. Okay, we'll stop here.